Bole Sri Saraswati Mata ki Jai. Welcome devotees to our Saraswati Jayanti celebrations. Blessings to you, all of you who've made the effort to join us this evening for this special celebration. We worship the Divine Mother in the form of Saraswati. What we will do at this point, our puja has been completed. So we would engage in some devotion. I would present a small message and then we would have our final Havan and Aarti. Now, as I said before, on these special occasions, there is something special in the air, meaning that the environment is ripe for spiritual development. So it is up to you to put your best foot forward, to put your effort. Remember, you're not here to spectate. You're here to engage in devotions, to feel something, to learn something. So first of all, we would engage in prayer, bhajan. Remember, bhaj means to seek that divine. Where? Externally, maybe. Within, definitely. It's up to you to pray how you want. So you can join together with me if you could. If not, in your mind, you can recite this mantra for Saraswati Devi, which is Om Srim Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. Repeat it again with me. Om Srim Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. Again, I've mentioned this many times. When you chant a mantra, man means mind. Tra could mean different things. Tool, a technique, a way. So the mantra is to help you. To help you do what? In this special case of Saraswati Devi, I will explain this in a little while. But for now, chant the mantra and it will help you. Okay? Let's concentrate on Devi Ma. Saraswati Ma. On this special occasion of Saraswati Jayanti, Saraswati Mata is said to be the goddess of knowledge, music, creativity, the arts. So those of us who have been fortunate to learn music under our various gurus, learn from teachers, of course, we all had teachers. This occasion is important as well to spare thought for these people who have taught us all that we know. They've put us on the right path. I know we have some teachers that we like, some teachers that we don't like, but Even the difficult teachers, we learn something from them, not so? Even how not to be. So spare a moment in your mind's gratitude. And of course, who was your first teacher? Parents, your mother, father, those around. So spare a moment to express that gratitude to these people for everything that you've learned. जय जय देवी वीणावाणी शिव कल्याणी मातु भवानी जय जय देवी वीणावाणी जय जय देवी वीणावाणी शिव कल्याणी मातु भवानी शिव कल्याणी मातु भवानी जय जय देवी वीणावाणी जय जय देवी वीणावाणी आज स्वरों के दीप जला दे आज स्वरों के दीप जला दे रोम रोम संगीत जला दे रोम रोम संगीत जला दे गीत जला दे जय जय देवी वीणावाणी जय जय देवी वीणावाणी बोलत घुंघरू बाज पायलिया बोलत घुंघरू ना रे बोलत घुंघरू बोलत घुंघरू बाजे पायलिया बोलत घुंघरू बाजे पायलिया झूम रही है सारी नगरिया, झूम रही है सारी नगरिया, सारी नगरिया। जय जय देवी वीणावा, जय जय देवी वीणावा। शिव कल्याणी मातु भवानी, शिव कल्याणी मातु भवानी। जय जय देवी वीणावा, जय जय देवी वीणावा, जय जय देवी वीणावा। Continue to concentrate on Saraswati Ma. Ma Sharade, Ma Sharade, Hansa Vahini, वीणा पानी ब्रह्मधामिनी, कला स्वामिनी जग तार दे माँ शारदे। माँ शारदे हंस वाहिनी, वीणा पानी ब्रह्मधामिनी, कला स्वामिनी जग तार दे माँ शारदे।
माँ शारदे हंस वाहिनी, वीणा पानी ब्रह्मधामिनी, कला स्वामिनी जग तार दे माँ शारदे।
ज्ञानहीन में ध्यानहीन में, बुद्धिविहीन विवेकहीन में, ज्ञानहीन में ध्यानहीन में, बुद्धिविहीन विवेकहीन में, विवेकहीन में ज्ञान भार दे माँ शारदे। विवेकहीन में ज्ञान भार दे माँ शारदे।
माँ शारदे हंस वाहिनी, वीणा पानी ब्रह्मधामिनी, कला स्वामिनी जग तार दे माँ शारदे।
हृदय गगन में, मर्त्य भवन में, मुक्त पवन में, जन जीवन में। हृदय गगन में, मर्त्य भवन में, मुक्त पवन में, जन जीवन में, जन जीवन में रश्मिकार दे माँ शारदे। जन जीवन में रश्मिकार दे माँ शारदे। माँ शारदे हंस वाहिनी, वीणा पानी ब्रह्मधामिनी, कला स्वामिनी जग तार दे माँ शारदे। कला स्वामिनी जग तार दे माँ शारदे। कला स्वामिनी जग तार दे माँ शारदे। बोले श्री सरस्वती माता की जय। Now, devotees, first of all, let us contemplate on the meaning of the name Saraswati. So, one of the secrets of our scriptures, it's an open secret, is that these forms of the one divine that we have, they are in these different forms because they symbolize different qualities, different energies, different ideals that we all aspire to. So, Saraswati means what? Anyone knows? Well, let me ask you this. If you don't know, raise your hand. Let me see. Saraswati. So, hearing the name of this Devi, what does Saraswati really mean? Okay, so I'll put the secret to you if you could take it, or secrets. There are two meanings. One is what I would term a worldly sort of meaning. The other one is a deep spiritual meaning. Okay? I'm not going to use technical terms. If I were, I would say one is a sort of rajasic kind of meaning and one is a sattvic meaning. But don't worry heads about what that is. One means worldly and one means spiritual. And you know what I mean by spiritual? Not worldly. Means of the spirit. Nothing physical, nothing tangible we're talking about. We're talking about your true essence. That's what we mean by spirituality, of the spirit. You with me? Good. So let's go. Put your thinking caps on. Meaning number one, Saraswati. Saras, this word Saras in Sanskrit, I'm doing my hand like this on purpose. It means to flow. You know, like a river? What does a river do? It flows. So Sarasvati, Vati means possessing or having flow. So put it together, flow and possessing flow, put it together, what you get? Saraswati, well, Saraswati is also a river, but you could use that as an analogy. Saraswati means a state of flow. Now, what is the state of flow we're talking about? When you're drunk, you take some drinks and you're feeling, nice and easy going. Is that the state of flow? Now, in psychology, in modern psychology, there's actually a book, I believe, written about the state of flow by a psychologist. What is the state of flow? So let me put it like this. Is there something that you're good at doing and you get involved in it and you're so involved you forget yourself, you forget time? Let me use a trivial example, like riding a bicycle. I hope you could ride a bicycle, right? Most people? So if you start riding a bicycle, the moment you learn and you start to pedal and then you go and you get into it, you forget you're riding a bicycle. You get in a sort of flow state, not so? But the moment you think, oh, look, I'm riding, then what happens? Then you fall down. Right? So it's a state, a psychological state. Now, look at this. If you're studying, all right, children, and not only children, but older people too, right? Continuing education, you're supposed to keep learning. Otherwise, well, brain rot is a term, right? But I'm using it like in the way I want, which is your brain will rotten if you don't use it, right? In Sanatan Dharma, there's nothing like retirement, You just change your focus, but you're still using your brain. You're still using your mind. So imagine you're studying. You ever study and you get into such a flow, you're writing an exam, and time goes by, you're so focused in something, you're in that state of flow. Things just, go, they happen. You're not really thinking about it. It just moves one to the other. Yeah? You ever sing in a song? Right? And let's not talk about how you're singing, but you're singing the song, you're enjoying the song, and you get involved in it that it takes you on its own sort of, rhythm. Right? It's a state of flow. You're drawing, you're doing a piece of art, you're writing, you're reading a good book. You all know what I'm talking about. That state of flow that we get into, of creative activity, is the power of Saraswati. You with me? So now you understand why she's a goddess of knowledge. So is it just knowledge itself? In other words, I could take a book, right? I could pick up any book. That's the knowledge. Is that the state of flow? No. Knowledge by itself doesn't flow. What flows? We flow. Our minds getting into it. Right? And have you ever noticed that we perform our best when we forget ourselves, meaning your ego, that I am doing this? You get involved in the art form for the art form itself. There's a nice, I believe it's a Chinese saying, that a bird doesn't sing because it has an audience, A bird sings because it has a song. You have to have a reason for a song. You have to have a reason to sing. You sing because you get in. The act itself is the enjoyment, is the benefit. But unfortunately, in this performance-based world, everything you do has to have some benefit. Even coming to temple. Long time used to go temple to give. Now people come to get. Deepak, if you didn't have food, you think people will come? Well, less people will come. Right? So, you come in here for what reason? For what reason? People want to get. But these art forms that we have, devotees, we engage in them because they bring fulfillment on their own. Quick survey. So I'm not talking about just school book knowledge. Academics is one thing. So if you notice, where is the Saraswati Devi Murti? Over there, right? All right. So this is Hindu symbolism. It's not just a Devi there and you have to pray to her and she'll give you what you want. That is the most basic understanding. What can we learn from that? What can we take away? You notice in some depictions of Saraswati, I don't know if that Murti has it there. In one hand, she has what? A mala, garland, right? Right, that's one thing. What else? A veena, that's a musical instrument, right? What else? Nothing else? A book? All right, let's use those three, right? You can use whatever you have and interpret, So the book, what does the book represent? Go to school and learn your work, right? But let me ask you this, what is knowledge? What is knowledge? I could say knowledge and it seems to be a very airy-fairy word. What is knowledge? You have an idea? Okay, you know how to come to the temple? Is that knowledge? No? Yes? Yes? No? Yes? Okay, yes. Okay, you know how to come here. All right. You know how to cook? You know how to make a bread and cheese? Right. Is that knowledge? You know how to make doubles? Good for you. No? Right. My wife could make doubles, so lucky. All right, that is knowledge. Now, you understand knowledge by itself means nothing. It's not always knowledge about something. Not so? Right. The knowledge in the book there could mean two things. One is knowledge about the world. When you go to school, what you're learning about? When you do mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, languages, social sciences, management, when you learn these things, that is knowledge about what? About the world. So that you can, live and get a job hopefully, open a business or whatever and continue to live. If you didn't have knowledge, that's why we say education, knowledge is the greatest wealth. Why? Because it can take you places. Unless you're a big time thief and go and thief all the money that you want, right? It wouldn't work out good for you. But this knowledge that you have empowers you, not so? Right. Chandra, so we don't have to convince you to go to school. You know why you're going to school, right? Right, okay. You have to go to school up to a certain point. Now they have higher education, whatnot. It's up to you how much you want to pursue. But our ancestors, devotees, always had this knowledge. We prioritize on knowledge, on going to school. How many of you, back in Trinidad, the parents made sacrifices to send their children to school. Say, don't waste your life, go and learn. Why? Because it is your greatest wealth, your greatest asset in the world. Everybody with me? I don't have to sell you on that, right? But there is another kind of knowledge that is even more important than worldly knowledge. What is that knowledge? Spiritual knowledge. And let me make that simple. You might say about God and what. Let's not get fancy. Knowledge about you, who you really are. I'm not talking about you, your body, you, your mind, you, your personality, your true spirit, right? So the book represents that true knowledge. I'll come to that in a little bit. But let's pause right there. So we understand the book. What about the mala? This is a perennial principle that applies to everything, and yet we ignore it at our own peril. It doesn't mean do mantra japa. It means do that too. But in the context of worldly knowledge, remember I'm talking about the worldly example here. What does a mala mean? When you hold a mala and you count in jap like this, right? You're going. What are you doing? Repetition. That is the word. What is the key to studying? You say it like you don't know. So if you cram tonight and go and you pass the exam tomorrow, have you really learned anything? It works in the moment. But you notice the question I asked. You pass the exam, but did you learn everything? Plenty of people pass the exam, but I could tell you in university, I learned nothing. Right? It's not true knowledge in the sense. You could memorize, you could regurgitate, you could probably figure out on the spot, but have you really learned? The key here is spaced repetition. That's usually the technical term. So what we're saying here, this matches up, with modern education, modern psychology, right? We have some teachers and educationalists here. Tell me if I'm talking nonsense. But it is true. This is why we practice. I'm going to use another word, practice. Whether it is in the world or spiritually, we repeat. We sing mantras. You keep coming temple. Why? Practice. Because you have a goal to achieve. In the physical, worldly sense, that goal, attaining knowledge and doing well in the world, surviving. In the spiritual sense, to achieve a spiritual goal, either achieving God or realizing who you are, whichever perspective you take. You with me? Right, that's two. The last one now is the Veena. What do you think that means? Everybody must play the Veena. What is the bigger lesson? Everybody, Saraswati Devi here, the sages, they're telling us a lesson, Remember, this represents something. Everybody must take up a certain creative art form. So let me ask, how many of you in school doing a musical instrument? Nobody? Some form of music? Abhi, good. How many of you into art? Drawing, painting, that sort of thing. Okay. How many of you into singing? That kind of music. Okay. What else we have? Dance. How many of you into dance? I'm frightened to ask. Not chutney dance, I talk about dance as an art form. Remember when we have the Diwali celebrations and we have all the nice dances and whatnot? You're trained, right? In Trinidad is Shiva, Shakti and whatnot. I'm partial to the classical art forms. We have whole shastras dedicated to this. Why? By guess? Because devotees, the art forms by themselves is like worship. These are all pathways that one supreme. They can all be. Why? Because they put us into the state of flow, which is Saraswati. That is a pathway to the divine. You understand? So let me make this point very simple. Young people and old people too, and middle-aged people. Saraswati Devi, the depiction, you want to balance your life, do these three things. Right? Study your work, get your education. That is for your mind. Then some creative art form. That is for your heart, your soul, your spirit. Right? Don't let the world beat that out of you. Not everything is about money and getting material things. It's unfortunate the way of the world, but that wouldn't bring you fulfillment. Okay? And I would add in, especially for young people, especially the times we live in, some sort of sport. A physical activity. Not sitting down whole day. How many of you hug up your phone and watch, you're scrolling social media 3-4 hours into the night? Young people, old people, everybody doing that. But you can't find 10 minutes to go outside and take a walk. I call these people talking about weapons of mass destruction. It's not a bomb, Look, I have one right here. You can come and check my phone. I don't have any social media on it. I think almost all platforms. I like Pinterest though, and Pinterest a little bit. I like to watch some picture and quotes and things. But I don't care about anybody else's business. Think about in the past how much of your life you waste on this. And what you get at the end, you feel empty. Pick up yourself, go outside and play. All right, let me check. Who like cricket? Raise your hand. Cricket, good. Soccer, well, I can't say football. Soccer/football. Right? Badminton, pickleball, just walking with people, cutting bush. Right? Something, but physically active. You see, people don't realize this long time, right? Aside from the spiritual benefit, you know why the sages tell us go outside and offer jal? Why do you think? Fresh air is what? Sunlight. Now, medical recommendations. Get at least half an hour sunlight in the morning. It changes your mood for the day. So when you go and offer in gel, I mean, some people could take long to offer gel, when they had to do all kind of thing. But you get in sunlight. You're barefoot on the ground. They say, go walk barefoot on the grass. We do not a long time. But now you forget, you're inside hugging up your phone, watching fake light, and everybody going crazy, everybody on anxiety medication, depression medication. I'm not saying mental health is not a problem, but this is one aspect of it. You understand? So who's doing this to us? We. And young people, they come from a background, you feel you live in a progressive society. I told you, I live in England, I live in the States, I live in Trinidad, went all over the place. These principles here apply to all people all times. Don't feel that because you live in a progressive society that it is progressive. That's the only thing I will say. Right? I will come to that in a bit because Saraswati means more than just taking what people tell you. It's about using your own analysis. You understand? Anyway, I bore enough about that. So everybody with me, that is the mundane Saraswati level. So we worship Saraswati in this case to generate this state of flow in us, right? So it can come about with these daily activities, but this now brings me to the second meaning of Saraswati, the spiritual one. Saraswati, Sar means the essence of, and Swa means oneself. So Saraswati, that word means, that name means the essence of one self. See? Lower level, higher level. So now, people say they're looking for Saraswati, they pray into Saraswati. Where's Saraswati? Within you. But where? You cut your open and find Saraswati inside. Is that what we're talking about? No. Your true nature, devotees, your essence, pure awareness. Okay? Pure awareness within every person, that is the Saraswati, the higher meaning over here. Good? Now, summarize for me what I just said. All right. There are two meanings of Saraswati, lower, higher. The lower one, state of flow. Higher one, the deepest self. That same God, Shiva, I can take the same name, show it means the self within. Durga, same name, self within. Saraswati, self within. Ganesh, Lord of all categories. What does that mean? Same self within. That's the higher level meaning. But then there's also the lower level meaning. Do you understand? Good. All right. Now, we pause for a short practice. Most people pray to God because they want something. They want their life fixed. They want things to go well. Very, very few people actually want to find themselves. They want spirituality. I understand that. So there's something for everybody. How many of you want success in life, especially in studies? Raise your hand. Good. There is a Saraswati Mata mantra for success that I will teach you. That we've been saying a long time, but I will teach you. When do you say this mantra? When you embark on any, new project, especially an educational one, you go to write an exam, yes, before the start of your class, every morning you chant this mantra and it will help you. You ready to repeat after me? Sit up straight. All right. So, the mantra, let me say it first and then you'll say it after me. The mantra is this. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. It means Saraswati, that's Saraswati Devi, Namastubhyam, I bow to you. Varade Kamarupini, she who fulfills all your desires. Right? I'm putting it simply. Vidya Arambham, as I begin my studies, Vidya Arambham Karishyami, as I begin my studies, Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Siddhi means success. So Siddhir Bhavatu, may it be Sada. Sada is always. May success always be mine. Understand? Now repeat after me. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Good? I won't make you say it over and over. If you're really interested and you want it, come ask me for it after and I'll give it to you, or we could pass it around for everybody. I'm sure you could find it online. Saraswati Mata Mantra for success. Everybody learn it and chant it. Chant it all the time, but if you're beginning a new project, beginning a new exam, educational project, class, chant this mantra, okay? And of course, you know the mantra we said at the start for Saraswati Mata. Om Srim Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. The A part is important. That's the Bij mantra, it's called. That sound has a special vibration, a special power. Om Srim Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. Good? All right. And now, last part. I will end up or round up this evening with some wonderful Sanskrit sayings on knowledge. These sayings, some of them, they're called Subhashita. Subhashita. Su means good. Bhashita means saying. So Subhashita means good saying. I promised myself today, as a dead pundit, like to talk about, we're all going to die. The five givens of life, right? But I know everybody can't take that. You want, Papa, I'll tell you something about living now. I'll tell you about living, right? But just remember, the secret to living is dying, right? But young people, good. I want you to listen carefully and try to imbibe these lessons. Now, I have a lot here. I've been collecting them over the years. I won't do all to get frightened. I'll just do one or two. I'll touch, all right? So, this is a nice one. This one is on, so we're talking about Saraswati. These nice sayings have to do with knowledge. Knowledge, okay? What knowledge does? The Subhashita is, Vidya dadati vinayam, vinaya dayati patratam, patratvad dhanam apnoti, dhana dharma tatah sukham. What does it mean? Now listen very carefully. Knowledge makes you humble. Humility gives you character. Good character attracts wealth. Wealth can be used for doing good deeds. This, in turn, leads to happiness in the world. If you listen to that carefully, you know how much knowledge is packed into this? There's a whole night katha. All right? But listen, knowledge makes you humble. So somebody who come and tell you, I know, write them off one time. They know nothing. The fact I come and tell you, I know, and boasting, you're not humble. Therefore, you don't have knowledge. We take it in reverse. See? These are the lessons you could use. Now, of course, if you go in university or in a class and the teacher say, well, I know I'm trying to teach you, that doesn't apply there, right? Right? We're talking about, but no, empty vessels make the most noise. And in society today, people who talk the loudest and make the most noise know the least. Trust me. That is a fact. Okay? To get the real knowledgeable, still waters run. And you're quiet. Let everybody talk. Few words, but what you say makes sense. Try to find people like that. Humility in turn gives you what? Character, good qualities. And this good character, good qualities, prosperity comes to you. Saraswati Lakshmi. Right? And then, now that you have wealth, when you have wealth, what you should do with it? You know what most wealthy people do most of the time? Yeah, keep it, but take a guess what on their mind most of the time. Make more money. How much is enough? Never enough. That's a song. Yeah? Never enough. Yeah. It's never enough. It's true. Now, watch your own mind. What wealth should be used for? Wealth should be used for doing good deeds. Good deeds. We didn't say charity. I mean, yes, give charity, but good things for people. You help your family out, you take care of yourself, you try to help others. You notice, devotees, there's a little life hack, a little life trick. When you focus on yourself too much and your own happiness, then you are the most unhappy. Think about that. When you focus on yourself and trying to make yourself happy, you become unhappy. Very strange. When you swing it around and focus on others, helping others as best as you can, you become the happiest. Strange, but nobody realized that. Everybody running after their own happiness, not realizing to be happy, help other people. And finally, you want happiness in the world? It ain't gonna happen, man. But you want happiness in the world? This in turn, doing good deeds, leads to happiness in the world. So does happiness mean grabbing everything for yourself? Me alone, barrier? No. Happiness means welcoming all and giving. Welcoming all, working with all, giving, seeing everybody in you as yourself. Remember I made this point? Why it is you must be nice to other people? Why must you be kind? Why must you tell the truth? Why? The ground of ethics, devotees, is tattvamasi. That you are not different from me. If you were different from me at our core, then I couldn't care less about you. Not so? But when I hurt you, who I hurting? Myself at the deepest level. Karma, however you want to take it. This is the golden rule of all religions. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This making sense? Nobody asks why I know. If a child asks you, Mommy, why mustn't lie? Says, son, I don't know. I just lie too, you know. You can't tell the child that. You have to know why. Why don't you lie? Why don't you steal? Why don't I hope you don't do that, eh? Well, why don't you do those things? The ground of ethics, devotees, it comes back to you. You are doing it to yourself. You just don't realize it. All right? All right. I have plenty here. I'll give you one more. Maybe service the next time, I'll give you some more. All right. I like this one. So young people, listen up to this. This one is on making effort. Right? So yes, knowledge is there, knowledge is good. How do you get the knowledge? How do you get the knowledge? Whatever knowledge you seek. Udyamena hi siddhyanti karyani na manorathaihi nahi suptasya singhasya pravishanti mukhe mrigaha. What does it mean? The translation of this is a nice poem form. So I'll give it to you in two ways. Hear the poem. Success always needs endeavor. By wish alone, it won't come near. The jaws of sleeping lions never are visited by the passing day. Let me put that in English for you. Work gets done, you accomplish in life, not by sitting down and wishing. You know, people want to manifest all kind of thing now. You sit down and manifest. Right? And wait for things to happen. The analogy is given. You think a lion lie down sleeping with the mouth open, a deer will just come and push his head inside and say, hey, eat me? Will that happen? No. So that's the analogy. The deer doesn't just go inside the lion's mouth. What the lion has to do? Hunt, make effort, go after your goal. You understand? So now here we tread on some toes again. You know what you mean when you say somebody feels entitled? You know what entitlement is? In this world, we all equal. You know how? We all have to strive to attain what we want. I can't look like you. I don't have the same qualities like you. We don't have the same skills. But one, we all have that same supreme running through all of us, that one undercurrent. But secondly, we all have that opportunity. Well, I have to watch how I put in this, eh? We need to strive for what we want. That's the baseline we all are at. We all like running a race. So you think life nice and dandy? if you really think about, I come back with negativity again, when you're born devotees, life is a struggle. If you're lucky and you have good parents who take care of you, good. Plenty people, they're born in war. They're starving. They have parents who abuse them. They have to fight their whole life. They die living in poverty. What is the point? What is the point? So the striving we have, but now I will come with a spiritual line. You could work your whole life and you will never be rich. You see the fairy tales, happily ever after? You think that is true? You think Prince Charming and Cinderella? Prince Charming and Cinderella still together? Where are they? Fairy tale, because it is a fairy tale. That is not life. Nothing lasts forever. So what you do here is you make effort, but you'll realize that, this is the point. The worldly effort, you're always going to bounce your head. You win money today, tomorrow what happen? Gone. Married somebody today, either you go on, them go on, two already decide to break up. You have children today, they leave you and go. You have a big house, a car fly and mash it up. There is no guarantee of anything. No guarantee. So then what do you do? So this is highlight this part. This is the big part now, the big point for the night. Young people, listen, listen, you will realize this eventually. The effort that you have to really make here is the spiritual effort. Find yourself or find God. Pick which one. Both is the same thing. Uncle Steve are talking sense? Older people, I ain't that old, eh? You see, I shave and things, so I want to look younger. Older people realize this. How much things you try in life? How much money you raise? One hurricane come here in Florida and knock everything down. You cannot depend on the world, devotees. You cannot depend on people. You could depend on the government? No way. But people spend the whole life quarreling with the government. Forget all of that. Turn your focus on God, the divine. Either once finding your true self or finding that supreme. The path of bhakti yoga, the path of karma yoga. You know what I mean by these things? Bhakti yoga, devotion. Take all desires, focus it on God. Path of karma yoga, do all your actions in service of everybody. See everybody as God. Or Raj yoga, you do meditation, try to find yourself within. Gyan yoga, get knowledge, or Gyan, which is really wisdom. Find out, know who you are. There isn't anything else to do, devotees. If you run outside there, when you go beyond the world, all you find is more world. Nothing changed. Nothing. But the thing is, I don't have to convince you of that. You have to convince you of that. Okay? So, many nice sayings. I just touch on two. I think I have about 8 or 9 back up there. Really, really nice. But we just take a little bit at a time and analyze. Whether you're young or you're old, it doesn't matter. Your maturity, you have to take these lessons with you. So now, this is the, university, I tell the students, I say, I have a new way of lecturing now, which is called Dr. Persad, get to the point. So in temple is, Pandit Umesh, get to the point. What does have to do with me? What is the point of all this? What is the point? Are you happy with your life? Remember I said, despite what we do in this world, we always have two problems. One, the problem of suffering, dukkha nivritti. And the second one, the problem of true fulfillment, ananda prapti. None of them you cannot overcome suffering in this world the way you think. Nobody's going to live forever. You're going to suffer. Something's going to take you down. And the next thing, no matter what you do in this world, you'll realize you are never totally fulfilled. You feel you're happy for the moment. Give it some time and see. You are never totally fulfilled. There's one solution. You know what the solution is. And the lesson now is for you to take. Okay, devotee? So at this point, I will conclude here for tonight. Let's glorify Saraswati Mata. I'll do one final bhajan while we make preparations for Havan, mix up the prasad and whatnot there, and then we'll proceed to conclude. जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती शरणागति प्रतिपालनहारे शरणागति प्रतिपालनहारे जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती शरणागति प्रतिपालनहारे शरणागति प्रतिपालनहारे जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती चंद बिम समवदन विराजे चंद बिम समवदन विराजे शीश मुकुट माला गलधारी शीश मुकुट माला गलधारी जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती मधुर पियारी श्याम गीत ध्वनि मधुर पियारी जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती श्वेत बसन कमलासन सुंदर श्वेत बसन कमलासन सुंदर श्वेत बसन कमलासन सुंदर संग सखी शुभ हंस सवारी संग सखी शुभ हंस सवारी जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती ब्रह्मानंद वेदास तुम्हारो ब्रह्मानंद वेदास तुम्हारो की दर्शन पर ब्रह्म दुलारी की दर्शन पर ब्रह्म दुलारी जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती शरणागत प्रतिपालनहारे शरणागत प्रतिपालनहारे जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती जय जगदीश्वरी माता सरस्वती बोले श्री सरस्वती माता की जय. We join in our final havan. Om Shri Man Mahaganadhipatiye Swaha. Om Shri Gauri Mata Swaha. Om Shri Prithvi Mata Swaha. Om Shri Panchopaldevaye Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaye Namah Swaha. Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundaye Viche Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Lakshmi Bhyo Namah Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Saraswatyay Swaha. Om Krim Kalyay Devi Swaha. Om Sri Tara Devi Swaha. Om Sri Tripura Sundari Devi Swaha. Om Sri Bhuvaneshwari Devi Swaha. Om Sri Tripura Bhairavi Devi Swaha. Om Sri Chinamasta Devi Swaha. Om Sri Dhumavati Devi Swaha. ओम श्री बगलामुखी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मातंगी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री कमला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री स्वाहा माताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं षष्ठी देव्यभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा, ओम नमो भगवते नारायणाय स्वाहा, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री सीतारामचंद्राय भ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री राधा कृष्णाय भ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री हूं हनुमते नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री आदित्य देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री चंद्र देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री मंगल देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री बुद्ध देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री बृहस्पति देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री शुक्र देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री शनि देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री राहवे नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री केतवे नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री अग्निदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री इष्ट देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री कुलदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री स्थान देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री वास्तुदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम सर्वदेवता सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा. Pick up the remainder. You have plenty remaining? Okay, a little bit. Right. Pick up the remainder. Please all stand, devotees. We make our final offering. Om Purnamidah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Wash your hand out, pass water on the fire 3 times. Om Sarva Papaharang Dibyam Gangyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chamaya Dattam Grihitam Purushotamaha Achmanyam Samarpayami. Acha. We'll have our final arati, devotees. Remain where you are. You've already received your chandan, so we will chant Saraswati Devi Arati while the Srotas perform Arati around. Then we will join in our closing prayer. Om Jai Saraswati Mata, Maya Jai Saraswati Mata, Vidya Buddhi Pradayak, Vidya Buddhi Pradayak, Tum ho Sukhadata.
Om Jai Saraswati Mata,
Kunda Indu Samashobha, तन की ज्योति झरे,
तन की ज्योति झरे,
जो सेवक बनी आए,
जो सेवक बनी आए,
सब भंडार भरे.
ओम जय सरस्वती माता,
वीणा दंड कमंडल माला कर सोहे,
मैया माला कर सोहे,
हंस वाहिनी देवी,
हंस वाहिनी देवी,
त्रिभुवन मन मोहे.
ओम जय सरस्वती माता,
श्वेत स्वरूप सुंदरी, श्वेत वस्त्रधारी,
मैया श्वेत वस्त्रधारी,
श्वेत पद्म पर बैठी,
श्वेत पद्म पर बैठी,
सबको सुखकारी.
ओम जय सरस्वती माता,
तब प्रताप सब माता, सुर भय ज्ञानी,
मैया सुर भये ज्ञानी,
निज निज दासन पर कर दे,
निज दासन पर कर दे,
करुणा कल्याणी।
ओम जय सरस्वती माता।
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव इंद्र आदि देवा,
मैया इंद्र आदि देवा,
सनकादिक और नारद,
सनकादिक और नारद,
सदा करे सेवा।
ओम जय सरस्वती माता।
त्रिभुवन यश विस्तार्य गुण गावे देवा,
मैया गुण गावे देवा,
सुर नर मुनि सब निश दिन,
सुर नर मुनि सब निश दिन,
करे विविध सेवा।
ओम जय सरस्वती माता।
माँ शारदा की आरती जो कोई नर गावे,
मैया जो कोई नर गावे,
परम ज्ञान सो पावे, परम ज्ञान सो पावे, जग यश फैलावे।
ओम जय सरस्वती माता।
ओम जय सरस्वती माता। मैया जय सरस्वती माता। विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायक, विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायक, तुम हो सुखदाता। ओम जय
सरस्वती माता।
ओम जय सरस्वती माता।
ओम जय सरस्वती माता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। काली जगमाता काली जगमाता काली जगमाता काली जगमाता काली जगमाता काली जगमाता काली जगमाता। जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। जय जय दुर्गा
लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। Chandresh, loose out the mongering. Take flowers, everybody. We join in closing prayer, devotees. Shiva Hare Shiva Ram Saghe Prabhu Trividhata Panivaran He Vibhu Aj Janeshwar Yadav Pahi Man Shiva Hare Vijayan Kuru Me Varam Shiva Hare Vijayan Kuru Me Varam Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Om Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudadhvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksh Mangalayadano Hare Mangalam मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज ॐ मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं यत् पूजितं मया देवा परिपूर्णं तदस्तु ॐ असतो मा सत्कमय ॐ तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय ॐ मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ॐ हर हर महादेव हर हर महादेव हर हर महादेव बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय बोले श्री सरस्वती माता की जय बोले श्री उमापति महादेव की जय बोले श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय You can take your seats, devotees, after making your final offerings. I will invite the current chairperson, Deepak, to make his announcements and comments, and then we will wrap up.
All right, Sitaram Yo. First of all, thank you all for coming out in numbers and participating in our Saraswati Jayanti celebration. Thank you for the students of all ages for making the sacrifice and having the discipline to fast and come here and perform this ceremony together as a community. It really is a cherished blessing to have everybody come together and pray, as as one, rather than just doing everybody individual things. A few announcements. First, let's start with so big sale. We are gonna have our big sale pickups starting on Sunday at 11 a.m. Right, that's when the pickups will start. So if you reach earlier, that's fine. You could come and enjoy Sunday service. We'll have community service on Sunday, so come and enjoy and be part of the community, and then you can get your cake something after. Nothing wrong with that. I think we've had a very successful bake sale. The numbers are as follows, but yet still to iron out. So far, we have currants rolls 16. We sold 16 currants rolls, 10 cassava pones, 7 pound cakes, 4 sweetbreads, 3 apple pies, and 1 banana bread. Right. So I think that's a lot of orders. So I think thank you to all who participated, all who supported the bake sale, and everything else but currants roll you could order at last minute if you need to, and we could get them numbers up a little bit. Wink, wink, not judge. Next, we have so this Sunday as well, I do encourage you all to come out to our community service so that we could start strategizing for our upcoming Shivratri, which is on the 15th of February. So in lead up to the 15th, we will have our strategy session this Sunday. The following Sunday, on the 31st, we're going to have community service as well. However, that weekend, from Saturday the 31st, sorry, that Sunday is the 1st of February, my bad. From Saturday the 31st, Sunday the 1st, and Monday the 2nd, we're going to have a deep clean a temple. I'll get into more details after we talk about it this Sunday. I can post it on your chat for those who haven't come to community service and all that. But we want to get this place ready for Shivatri, because that's our, one of the two major celebrations we have all year is Shivatri and Diwali, and we want to have this place ready for that. And Ganesh shoots out too. That's 3, yeah. But we have more too. We have Navratri and one thing too. But yeah, but this one we want to make sure this place is perfect. We should have the shed built by then and everything, so we could put in the group effort to get this place where it needs to be. So I'm excited about that. Again, I'll talk more about it once we confirm everything on Sunday. After which, so that's this Sunday coming. Deep clean the following weekend, and then on Sunday, February 8th, that's when we're gonna have our next Sunday satsang with Pandit Umesh. Will come in and do service for that morning. And the weekend after that would be the weekend of Shivatri, in which we will have our celebrations on Sunday, the 15th, from 6:30 p.m. That's in the evening till about 10:30, depending, how things go. Other than that, I think that's all the announcements I have for now. I just wanted to, so now for all the younger people, I gave you all a sticker and a little ticket stub, right? We have a competition going. That's okay. Honestly, it's for students of all ages. So if you want a chance to win that poster that we have in the back there, right? Go ahead and scan the QR code, enter your ticket number, fill out the information, and once everybody, like in the next half an hour or so, I'll ask everybody if they fill this out, and then we'll do a drawing. And the winner will go home with the poster that's up there. So, yeah. Other than that, I think, thank you again for coming. Sangha Bhojan has been provided. Thank you to the hands. Thank you to the hands that have prepared it. A special thanks and blessings to them. And Sitaram to everybody. Sitaram. Now, Chandresh, if you want to stand and you know what to do.
All right, I will handle this part.
Okay.
Yeah, they leave something for the pundit to do, you know. Or they go take away my work. Everybody take your prasad. So all these rotas there, few of y'all go to. We had a whole contingent. What's the word? A posse? A group? All right, everybody take your prasad. Right, so we're going to try to do this together, right? What it is you're saying again? What? I hear all kind of thing. All right, Sakal punch. That doesn't mean you're gonna punch everybody. It means everybody. Sakal punch, Jai Sitaram. Wait, practice it once. 3, 4. All right, now's the real time. Turn and face them. Everybody together. 3, 4. Jai Sitaram. All right, devotees, blessings everybody. You're all invited. And remember, we have meals prepared for everyone. So you're all invited to stay back. Blessings again. And keep on keeping on till we meet again next time. Blessings, everybody.
I just want to say one more thing on Shivatri as well. We're going to have Chandresh will be initiated. That's the right word? Yeah. By Pandit Umesh on that day as well. So exciting. We have a time for that? I didn't.
That'll be done during the puja.
During the puja, yes.
Will be here as well.
Mhm.
He'll be doing the puja
Yes.
and the offerings and whatnot.
Yes. So, yeah, that's something excited. Because have we had an initiation done in the temple? I don't know, I only here like a couple years. Yeah. So, it'll be an experience, at least for me. I don't know about you all, but I look forward to it. All right? Sitaram.
वेदसार शिवस्तव परशुरां पतिं पापनाशं परेशं गजेन्द्रस्य कीर्तिं वसानं वरेण्यं जटाजूटमध्ये स्फुरद्गाङ्गवारिं महादेव